An opposition party in Solomon Islands says it will re-establish diplomatic ties with Taiwan if it wins the country's election in April. The Pacific nation switched its support to China in 2019 and has been steadily growing closer to Beijing since then. Louise is following the story for us in Taipei. Louise, a glimmer of hope for Taiwan, which has been steadily losing its allies in recent years.
Yes, there is a glimmer of hope. Now, Taiwan's foreign ministry has responded by saying it will take seriously any opportunity that helps enhance Taiwan's international status and expand its international space. Now, this idea of switching back to Taiwan has come from the leader of a smaller opposition party in the Solomon Islands. It's part of a coalition. The leader is Peter Kenelori Jr. But you don't need to be part of a big party in the Solomon Islands to get elected. And really, it's up to how well can you rally your supporters to come out and vote for you. And Peter Kenelori Jr., he is a charismatic leader. Now, the only thing is he's likely to be up against the current Prime Minister of the Solomon Islands, Manasseh Sogavare. He's the one that cut ties with Taipei, and then he went on to sign a security pact with Beijing. But his decision to cut ties with Taiwan was not universally popular in the Solomon Islands. Indeed, 2 years after he made that decision, protesters even tried to storm Parliament to demand Sogavare step down. But he has remained in power, and under his rule, Solomon Islands has become arguably the closest Pacific Island nation to Beijing.
Louise, it does feel like we are seeing a real concerted effort by China to assert itself in the Pacific. Is it a battle Taiwan is losing?
A quarter of Taiwan's few remaining diplomatic allies are in the region, and it recently lost Nauru to China. And others are warning that Beijing is actively seeking to get them to switch allegiance, to ditch Taipei. And in fact, the leader of Palau, he has reportedly recently said that China has said if you switch allegiance to China, if you ditch Taipei, China will fill every hotel room of Palau, so give its tourism sector a big boost, and spend $20 million a year on business investment. So that kind of economic might gives you an idea of the pressure China can bring to bear, and of course advantages for Pacific Island nations. But in some good news for Taiwan, it's looking increasingly likely that another ally in the Pacific, Tuvalu, will elect a prime minister that is pro-Taiwan. I've been speaking to sources close to the negotiations for that new leader, and I understand that a former Attorney General, Folete Deo, has won the support of more than half of Tuvalu's newly elected MPs, and he's very much seen as wanting to continue diplomatic ties with Taiwan.
Thank you, Louise. That was Louise Watt reporting live from Taipei.